Hi, I'm Danny. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share with you my latest upgrade I did to my 2009 Honda Civic. This one's a game changer. If you haven't done it yet, you should. I changed out my factory radio system with a new multimedia stereo. This touchscreen system links to my phone via Bluetooth or USB. It can read my text messages, make phone calls, stream music, and it has a navigation system. I can even watch YouTube videos. This works with both Apple and Android devices. The system I installed is plug and play, meaning no wires were cut and all the needed connectors were supplied by the company. The company even supplied a faceplate bezel to give it the perfect fit. This is a high quality system and I had no issues installing this. If you have a Honda Civic, I recommend checking out this system. It's from a company called Idoing. I'll leave a link in the description. In this video, I'll show you what's in the box and all the steps for a successful installation. At the end of the video, I'll show you the final finish and what it does. Let's get started. I got this audio system from Idoing, and let's go ahead and unbox it and see what's in here. So right off the bat, I get a 2-year warranty with this. That's nice. An instruction manual, because I'm going to need to use this when I install it, because what I've noticed, there's a whole bunch of cables in here. So we've got those cables, these cables, and a microphone. So I'm not sure where all these go, but lucky for me, there's actually a bright manual here with a lot of good pictures. So we'll see how this installs in a few minutes. And then here's the head unit. This thing has a gigantic screen, and this came with it also. So this is going to come in here, and then it fits just like that. This is going to look really good. I'm really excited to get this put in. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Oh, there is. There's some trim tools so you don't mess up your trim piece when you're taking it off and putting it back on. So let's go ahead and get this installed. Now to get the kick panel off, you just reach under here. That's it. All you're doing is releasing the clips. Now there's going to be one screw right here. So let's go ahead and pull this screw out. And then from here, we can just go ahead and pull the trim panel off. Just come around, pull, pull, tug a little bit here. Come around here. Go ahead and loosen this and bring your steering wheel down a little bit. There it is. And then right back here, there's a connector. And let's go ahead and pull that connector out. And then we can go ahead and just put this aside also. Now we got to come over and get this trim piece off right here. And if you look underneath here, you're just going to reach right in here. There'll be a little tab. And you're going to pull this down All right, and just put this aside, and there's going to be a couple of screws in here. And this one looks like it's already missing. All right, so the next step, let's go ahead and remove this panel. Let's go ahead and get the trim tool up here. All right. All right, so now it's a matter of just removing the connectors. This is the airbag light. This is the hazard switch. There we go. Down here it looks like the AC control unit. And over here is the radio. There it is. There's a tab right at the top here. And then probably that tab maybe. Yep. So now we'll just take this over to the bench. All right, so now that I got the stereo out, I need to swap everything over from this one to this one. And we'll just flip that over. So everything that's going to go, the vent, the airbag light, the hazard switch, the HVAC unit, all these clips are going to go, and then these clips here are going to go. So let's go ahead and start on that. But first, let's go ahead and put our screen in here. Let's get that going. Let me put that aside. And then we'll just put that right here. There we go. That's gonna go slide in here. If you notice, I've got a towel here so nothing gets scratched up. It actually has plastic on there also. There we go. They give you 4 small screws. And let's go ahead and get those in. That's tight. This is tight. And the last one's tight. So our unit's in. And it looks good, nice and flush. To get the HVAC unit out, you have to get the control head off. You gotta get a screwdriver in back of it. You gotta pull these knobs off. They just pull off fairly easy. Same on this side. If it doesn't pop off, go to a different section. There it is. And then from here, let's just turn it over. And there's 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. And our control head is out. All right, here's our hazard switch. Set that aside. This is what I'm taking off right here. All right, here's our airbag light. Put that aside. And then we got to do our vent. All right, so let's get everything back on. We're going to start with the hazard switch, AC control head unit. So what you want to do on the knobs, you want to make sure that off button is on the off before you put it all on, and then the fan Goes all the way on fan. So that looks good, so I can push it in. And it's nice and smooth. Now the other one, same thing. There it is. That's on the blue. If I go all the way over there, it's on the high. And then just kind of push it in. All right, so this here looks like everything. I'm getting excited. Everything's working. So the airbag light, I don't know if I told you this yet, but there's actually no spot for the airbag light to go back in. Once we plug it in, we're going to push it back in here somewhere. I'm not sure where. I have everything transferred over here. Looks pretty good. So my next step is I need to put the wires on and then put it in the car. But let me show you what I did inside the car with the GPS antenna and the 4G antennas. I have my GPS antenna here and one of my 4G antennas here. The idea is to route this over to my multimedia player, and to do that we're just going to pull this panel off, and then we also have to drop the glove box. So to do that, you just need to squeeze both ends. That'll drop down. So now this will allow you to run the wire straight down, and then we're going to run it over here, and then we're going to end up in the multimedia player. So here's our second GPS antenna. I routed the wire the same way underneath this panel, and then also my microphone that comes underneath this rubber trim and then ends up at the same place here, and then I just routed it behind the cluster, and then it ends up at the same place right at the multimedia player. All right, so now we're going to put our trim panel back on. This actually goes on fairly easy. Just slides in. And then there's a couple of screws here. One. And then if you come over here, there's another one here. And then one more way on the other side. So I'll put them screws in, and then I think we're ready for our multimedia player. Oh, one more thing. These are all my USBs. I need to route those up here. And then this was the cover that went underneath here, and that's where that's gonna live, down there. All right, so I'm ready to put everything back together. I ended up putting our airbag light right here, and I put it into some foam, keep it from rattling. We've got our 4G antennas plugged in and our GPS antenna. Our USBs are here, and they're actually zip tied on one spot. Our HVAC module is plugged in. Over here we have this harness here. The only thing I used out of this one was the mic, and then I zip tied it to the main harness that has all the connectors here that plug into your factory radio unit. The only one you're not going to use and doesn't go anywhere is going to be this white one here. So let's go ahead and push this into the dash and get that finished. All right, so all this is in, looking good. All right, so before I go any further, let's go ahead and see if it works. All right, looks like it's good. So let's get our trim piece on. Let's start with this connector. Connector's in. Panel's in. All right, so there's the screw you need to put in right here. And then we have our panel. And that just comes up here. And we're done. This is the final installation of my stereo unit. If you look over here, this is my left side 4G antenna. And then over here is my right side 4G antenna. And then here's my GPS antenna here. And this is what the stereo looks like, all put in. It looks really awesome. And then I can make phone calls, listen to music, get driving directions, answer text messages, and then even check my calendar to see what's going on that day. And it actually works with my steering wheel controls. That was a pretty easy setup. But all in all, it was a clean installation. I definitely recommend this stereo unit from the company called Idoing. I'll leave that link in the description. I hope you learned something in today's video. If you did, consider subscribing, give me a thumbs up, and as always, thanks for watching.